Okay. Yes, we have Lisa Murray joining us today, and she works for a international software company. She also has her APR. I want to APR, yeah, APR and CPRC, and she's also been with FPRA since 2018. She's also received an Image Award and a Grand Image Award. Other than that, today she is going to be hosting an amazing Canva masterclass for us. I was informed about this masterclass through Professor Winton, who has also taken the course. So I'm very excited to see what we have in store for today. But before we get started, I do want to let you know of a few announcements that we have. Board applications have been sent out via email, and please turn them in by April 12th. We also have our PRT, and it is moved to a different date, which is going to be April 27th at 6:30 p.m. And then for cord pickup, feel free to DM me through our Instagram. I'm going to be handing out FPRA cords to anybody who has been eligible, attended 3 meetings on April 7th and April 14th at 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So just DM me via Instagram and we can work out something to get your cord to you. Other than that, Lisa, take it away. Oh, Lisa, you're muted.
You think I would get this by now.
It happens.
Oh my goodness, Zoom calls all day. So thank you guys so much for having me. I love teaching. I love mentoring. I love FPRA. So I really am excited about this opportunity. I know we don't have a whole lot of time, so I didn't want to be stuffy. I didn't want to just give you like some PowerPoint. It's designed, so we kind of need to be a little bit more interactive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the platform. And actually, I'm just trying to figure out how to, let me minimize this. I don't want to be looking at myself while I'm doing this. But what I do want to do, we'll have a Q&A at the end. But if I'm working on something and a question comes up, what I'm thinking is you can either raise your hand, and then if you can monitor for me, if someone's raising their hand, I think there's an icon where you can actually raise your hand, and or put a question in the chat, because we're going to go over different types of graphic design. So it kind of might be better for you to ask me the question while we're on that design. So if we're talking about video, we're talking about flyers, we're talking about social media, please feel free to just go ahead and ask the question. You're not going to like interrupt my flow or anything like that. This is more interactive. Okay. So what I have open here, I actually have, I have several pro accounts. I have the FPRA pro account. I have my company, Interop Technologies. I've convinced them to get a pro account. But what I'm showing you right here is my free account. And then I'll kind of show you what the difference is. And as many of you go into the workforce, you're going to find that, you know, you may work for a nonprofit, you may work for a company that doesn't have a large team. My team, even though we're an international company, believe it or not, it is literally me, my VP, and then my web/digital graphic designer guy. And sometimes he is just really, you know, bogged down with stuff. He's doing diagrams or he's doing very intricate designs that I can't do. So in that retrospect, I was like, you know, I can't wait 5 days to get a social media graphic. So that's when I just kind of said, okay, I'm going to find a workaround. And as a PR person, it's really hard sometimes to learn InDesign or Photoshop or take the time to do that. If you do have the time, I still encourage you to go out and try to learn those tools, because there are some things in there that you can do that you can't do in Canva. But that being said, Canva really does have it all. And they continue to add stuff. You know, like I pop in here every day and I see something new. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So this is the homepage. And as you can see on the homepage, you can get to many different things from here. So we have templates, we have features, templates, learn. And so learn I want to talk about, because if you sign up for a free account, you can access this learning center. And literally anything that you want to design, they have in here. So you can literally teach yourself in a heartbeat. And I'm sorry, this screen is really bothering me and I don't know. Let me just pause for a second. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this view in Zoom. So just give me 2 seconds. Oh, that's not working. hide video panel. Okay, there we go, because I couldn't see my whole screen. And then here is where you can explore the different types of plans. As you can see, the Pro plan, which is what FPRA Southwest Florida has and what my company has, it's $119 a year, or you can pay $9.99 per month. So as a student, if you're trying to get a job and you want to showcase, some designs, you could either do free, or really it's kind of affordable to do on your own as well. And then just a really cool tip, if you end up working for a 501c3 nonprofit, you actually have the opportunity to apply for a free Canva. And you can get that in here as well, or you can just Google, Canva for nonprofits. So I'm going to go back to home because I don't want to spend too long on, talking about pricing plans or anything like that. But this is where all your main stuff is when you go in. So I tend to always go here. You could always look for templates here, but I tend to always go like create a design. And then from here, you could actually type in like Facebook ad. My internet's being a little bit slower than normal, so I do apologize. So, and as you can see here, there's tons of templates. I mean, this is the free version, and there's little toggle thing up here where you can like choose a color and apply, and it'll give you like all the blue stuff, or, any color you want. You can actually choose a different language if you're working for an international company. So, tons of opportunities here. So what I did was I went ahead and I have some graphics that I've already kind of put together. So I'm going to start off with social media. So I went in here and I did exactly what I did before. It'll load. And did create a design and social media. I can get there. And this is one of the templates I chose. So you can see over here, I chose a template. And as you can see, if it has the Canva watermark, that just means that you'll have to pay, which you actually can pay as you go. Usually it's like $1 for a premium graphic if you don't have the pro version. But the great thing about this is you can actually use your keyboard just like you would like if you're in a PowerPoint. So like I can click on this and I can hit delete and it'll completely take that picture away. And then I can go up here and I can undo that. So that's really good because, I don't want to spend any money, right? So I'm deleting that. And then I can say, oh, I need a new photo to look at. So I can either go here and I can search for photos. I can say travel. There'll be all these travel photos, or I can put food and there's food photos. But for this one, I want to make a social media graphic for the Lee County Port Authority on summer travel. So I can upload my own images, and right here it just says upload. In the pro version, you can actually create multiple folders, whereas you can't really do that with the free version. But if you did have the pro version, you could have folders. So if you had different clients, you were working for an agency, or you had different themes or different graphics for different times of the year, you could create folders for that. But just for this example, I've uploaded a bunch of different stuff. And I've got this lovely photo of Nancy. She's also an FPRA member and works for the Lee County Port Authority. And I'm going to throw it in here. And as you can see, you can just stretch it and it actually, stays intact. So it's not going to get all weird, and you can move it around. And what I love about Canva is you see these pink lines here. It's actually telling you where you should be in the frame and if it's centered or not. The other option is you can go position and you can actually click, oh, I want it in the middle, or I want it at the top of the page. And that way it helps you really, make sure that it's nice and center and looks clean. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And as you recall in the graphic or the template that I chose, see, and you can do this as well. So I can say, oh, I want her to be more centered, click off of it. And I had some, if you look at the template, right, I had some text. So where did the text go? So for here, you would say position and you would say backward. And as you can see, all your text that was in that template is still there. You can move it. move it around. Say, oh, I want to move her there. Done. Well, I can't see any of this text. So one of the biggest secrets that I like to tell people looking at Canva, because one of the things that InDesign has is they have layers. If any of you have ever popped in there, there's different layers. And what layers do is it layers the graphic. So the way to do that in Canva, in order to see this white text, is to go over to Elements. And you can see you have all these things. You have featured, you have lines, you have shapes. So I'm going to pick a shape. I'm going to do square because this is a square graphic. And I'm going to pull it on top to create a layer. And then I'm going to position it backwards so that all that, now we can see it. Well, now I can't see the picture. So you go up to this cool little tool called transparency, and then you can toggle with the transparency. And this way, you can make sure that the text that you want to be seen can be seen. And you can play around with the colors. Layered squares like this usually tend to do better with darker colors for contrast, but you can try all different types of colors. And there's a color wheel. So if you know the color code, then you can actually put the color code in here for like your brand color or color that you want to use. And I actually have a little tip sheet that I'm going to send you after this presentation of where you can actually go outside of Canva and use some other tools if you're just using the free version to get that color code. The other cool thing that Canva actually just implemented was this, photo colors, which I love because if you want to match the color of a photo, you don't actually have to go out and find the color. They actually put it in here for you. So if I wanted to use the colors that were already in that photo, like the blue in the background here, all I have to do is click over here. And again, I can kind of, change that. The other cool thing is you have colors up here that you can change as well. I can change the font colors. So it's very, very, very user intuitive, which is what I love. And with anything, you're going to get practice if you actually go in and just play around with it. So I played around with this one for a little bit. And this is basically what I came up with was this. For RSW, Fort Myers, Florida, your summer travel guide. And it talks about, being healthy and safe while traveling with a nice, pretty picture of Nancy. And then you can click here and click download to your computer. And you can do a PNG, you can do a JPEG, you can put it in a PDF. You could even put it in a video or a GIF if this was movable, which we'll get into in just a minute. And with the free version, unfortunately, you cannot change the size of it from here. You also can't implement a transparent background or any of these other features, which is okay. It's not gonna, hurt you. But from here, you're gonna choose what you want. So I only like number 4. So download, and it'll download right to your computer. Are there any questions so far?
I don't have any and I don't see any in the chat. So I think we're good to keep moving forward.
Okay, perfect. And I just want to emphasize that layering is so key because I see a lot of graphics these days from people who, are inexperienced in graphic design, and they just can't figure out how to get the text overlay on a photo. And that's the easiest way to do it, is just to put another layer and do multiple layers for each graphic. So this is just a basic Facebook social media graphic. Another thing that you can do in Canva, which I love, is flyers. So flyers are really big, especially with B2C companies or nonprofits. So I went in and I searched for flyer for, let's see if we can do health flyer.
Pardon me to interrupt.
Sometimes they
has a question.
Yeah.
She says, how do you keep track of your layers just to make sure I know where everything is?
You know what? That's a really good question. And that's the one thing that Canva doesn't have compared to like an InDesign. Like there's not something on the side that's saying layer 1, layer 2. The easiest way to do it is to, let me go back to the other one. Or did I take out the layer? I did. So let's put the layer back and I'll show you. So here, I mean, obviously we only have really technically maybe 3 layers, technically really only 2, because you've got the background photo and then you got the overlay here. So the easiest way to do it is actually to use the position tool right here. So backward, well, then you can tell, if you can't go back anymore, then you can tell that you have a layer underneath, right? And if you click forward, then you can tell, okay, I have no more forward. It's not as intuitive as InDesign, but basically that's how you have to do it to see your layers. Did that answer your question?
She said yes.
Okay, and feel free to speak too if you'd like to. You don't have to just go in the chat.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's a great question though. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, there's nothing over here telling you the layers like in InDesign where you can see layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, but knowing Canva, they're probably on it and they're probably going to fix that. So that's
Lisa,
a good thing.
can I just interrupt 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
Lisa, it's Mike Kennedy. I'm the faculty
Hey.
advisor for
Hi, Mike.
PRA. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
Hello
good.
to my
It's been a
board.
while.
My phone is telling me low battery, so I may lose you, but I wanted to say thank you for taking the time today for our students. And the timing is perfect with so many final projects being due. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. I don't know if I'm on camera or not. I'm in the woods of DeBerry, Florida right now. And I scheduled a walk with my grandbaby who's turning 1 tomorrow. So I could watch your seminar, but I forgot to charge my phone. So I may lose you. So in case I did, I wanted to say thank you.
That's okay. Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, I thought I saw you on there. So
Yeah. Yes. All right.
yeah. Good to talk to you.
Good job. Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter to my board and our students. And if I lose you, I'll catch up on the when they do the video for this. So thanks again, Lisa. So appreciate it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Enjoy your time.
Yep.
And I was going to say, like I said, it's hard to learn something like design, right, in an hour. Okay. So I really don't want guys to be discouraged. I think the best thing you can do when you go back home is to, if you haven't already, sign up for a free Canva account, try to do some of those lessons up here in the learn section. You just set a goal for 1 a day. I have to tell you, and maybe I'll show you here in a little bit, but if I look at the graphics that I created when I first started using Canva and I compare them to the graphics that I now do, it's like night and day. So it's kind of like practice makes perfect. The more that you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So this is completely doable for any of you. If you're in PR, you're creative, like you can make this happen. Even if you're not creative, actually, you can make it happen. So this is an example of a flyer. So you can go here and you can actually type in depending on the industry that you're in. So this one's health, but like I could do technology. And it's just going to give you, like you can see here, it's just going to give you more techie feeling flyers, right? And then the health flyer, it's be more, like you're going to get some healthcare stuff. I think you could even do nonprofit. Yeah, you do nonprofit flyers. So as you can see, and there are tons and tons of templates. This is even the free Canva. So if you pay for Pro, it's like double or triple the amount of templates that you can get. So this is the template that I chose. And from here, this is also another good point. Down here is your percentage. So what you're looking at on screen right here is only 57%. If I were to go to 100%, it's going to show it to you a lot bigger. So as you can see, this was a health flyer built from the Heart fundraiser. And I took this template and what I did was I changed some of the photos. So basically I deleted this because I didn't want to pay for that. And I went to my uploads. I think it's in my uploads. It's not. I went to photos and I was going to do a flyer on a holiday drive. So I was like, you know, gifts will work. And as you can see, that line pops up. So I can put it exactly where the other one was. And just do this and say, oh, it looks prettier here. Bring it down. And then I have that. And then if I want to change the color here, then I can change. And you can see if I want to kind of be in line with that graphic that I just put here, I could say, okay, well, I'm going to do gray here. And then I'm going to click. And it's just like if you're doing a PowerPoint, right? And that little box will pop up too. So if you're doing something you're like, and you're kind of struggling with, Canva will oftentimes pop up and say, do you need help with something? And then I'll show you how to learn how to do it. So I want to change the red here. And so for this one, I had to go up here and click that I wanted to do the text font. Whereas here I can just on it and change the background color. And then you can type in here, please join us for a fundraiser. Same thing here, just type it in. If you want to change the font, there's also a ton of fonts that you can use as well. So you can either highlight it or you can just click on it and go up here. And it'll always show you, which I love, it'll always show you like recently used photos, recently used fonts, things like that. So I want to change the font, I just click on it and it changes the font. If you have the pro version, you can actually upload fonts and use like a brand font. So what I did, well, let me see. Take logos, upload. So we have Archway Institute. Some of you might know, and put it up here. So now it's their flyer. And basically what ends up happening is at the end, this is what I came up with. Help us reach our goal, the 2021 Holiday Hope Campaign, reducing the risk of relapse during the holidays. And literally, this is everything, and I'll minimize it a little bit. This is everything that I did from here. I mean, it's literally the same template, but I just went in and put in the right brand colors. I put a nice themed photo, added a logo up here. And then again, I can download it. And for this one, you would want to do like a PDF print quality. You can also add crop marks and bleed if you're going to send it off to the printer. And if you don't click the pages, it's just going to download everything together. So because we have a template up here, you would want to just click, you know, page 4 and 5, and that would give you a download. I actually have it already here because I want to show you what it looks like in the PDF form. So as you can see now, I have this nice PDF print quality. And you can see, and I wanted to show it to you this way because I wanted to show you how crisp and clean it comes out. And then literally we can print these, you can print them front to back, and there you go. You have a flyer that you can send out to any of your followers to get donations. Any questions on this example of a flyer? All right. Let's go back. And let's see my screen. So a lot of things popular now on social media are animated. So you see the little animated social media graphics on Facebook and stuff like that. So on here, you can go down to social media. You can see you can do everything sized perfectly for you. Instagram story, Facebook post. you can click on templates and you can actually come to the larger part of templates. You can even do your resume on here, which is pretty cool. If you're looking for a job, it's a great way to spruce up your resume. But I went ahead and chose a graphic here to show you. So you can see here, there's tons of movable graphics. I'm just going to show you a couple of them. And you can just like roll over them and it'll show you how they move, which is kind of cool. You don't have to like actually click on them to see how the movement is. And so I chose this one because I thought it looked fun, and I was working on a Girl Scouts ad. And as you can see, there's animate up here, so I can change how it animates. But for the purpose of today, I'm just going to keep it like that. You can also edit how long, if continuously rolls or not. And that's really good if you're going to add multiple pages, which you definitely can do in a animated graphic. So I went over here and I uploaded a couple Girl Scout logos and a couple things that I found. And basically I clicked on here and I changed the color. Clicked on here and I can change that to white. And change that to white because we don't want pink, because Girl Scouts are basically green and white. And then I said, clicked on this and it actually pops up right on here. So you can just make it small if you want to add a logo somewhere. And again, I just love that Canva does this. It kind of shows you, you can kind of get a feel for if it's in the right spot. It'll tell you. And these movable things are movable. So if you don't like where it is, you can move them anywhere you want. And the best part is you can use your shortcuts on your keyboard. So for instance, I'm on a Mac, so I hit Command C, that copies anything. So I could literally copy this and paste that onto a new document if I wanted to. So all the shorthands that you're actually used to using for PowerPoint or Word or something like that will work. You can even take these. So let's say, oh, this would be really good on the LCPA graphic. I can go back. I can say, oh, let's add here. And I just pasted it there. So all the shortcuts you use, it's intuitive, great. And here we have the ability to add audio as well. So if you're doing a movable graphic or you're doing a video and you want to use music, you can literally hit free and you can test all the free. Well, that doesn't look free, does it? Ah, here we go. You can click free. Sometimes some of them, they remove the free filter. I don't know why, but for the most part, you can usually go to the filter and filter by free. I think they're probably trying to reduce that so that you pay for it. But here where you have all the free, and you'll see the free icon here at the bottom. If it's not free, it's going to have one of these pro icons on it. So I just chose this safety net, and here's the final product, as you can see. And I did forget something. So I don't like these pictures obviously because they have nothing to do with the Girl Scout. So I clicked on here and I deleted that. Now for photos, you can do one of two ways. You can just take the photo, right, and put it in here. As you can see, it doesn't really fit in here. So you can crop it. And say, oh, I'm just going to use the top. And then put it in this way. So sometimes this way actually works better because you can finagle it a little bit. And then here I would put backward. So now it's behind this photo. But the other option, I'm just going to delete this real quick and show you another option in Elements. And they're called frames. So they have all these frames that you could use. So I could technically put a frame in here. Although sometimes frames, the one thing I don't like about frames is, as you can see, it's not as easy to move. So it really has to fit in there. So I could just adjust this to fit the frame. Once you have the frame in there, then I would go get my photo that I have and I would drag it over here. And as you can see, it would just like auto populate in that grid. Same thing here. I might like her picture, but I don't need the extra text. So if there was another ad that the company did and the picture was great, but we didn't want to use that ad, we could actually crop that ad and just use the picture. Put that in there. And again, I can adjust this frame. I mean, there's tons of possibility here. So, and you can play around with it. And I do this all the time. I mean, it's not going to be super fast. You know, doing any kind of design work, it takes time and practice and stuff like that. But basically, what I was able to do is this. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. So let's. So if I could you hear the music?
I couldn't hear it. I don't know if anyone else could.
You can, okay. Well, I do encourage you to go in and in the free account when you sign up, if you go to audio here, it's so easy. Literally, I drag and drop. So I can drag it and it's going to automatically change music. And then here I can actually segment it to part of the music. So I could put it smack in the middle because I just like how it sounds. When you go to download this graphic, you can download it as an MP4 or as a GIF. So it just depends on what platform you're sharing on and what the best, what the best one is for you. But in order to get the movement and get the music, you're going to use one of these two. And again, I mean, just download it straight to your computer. And again, I'm going to click the final and download. What time is it? Okay, we're doing okay on time. It does take a minute to download.
Lisa, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually following your tutorial because I'm actually working on a graphic myself or something that I have to do for my internship. But
Yeah.
basically, when you're using the GIFs, it's best, I think is how you say GIF or GIFs, whatever.
You know what's funny? I thought about that. Just said I was like, is this GIF or GIF? I don't know. I think it's interchangeable. So
yeah. So I'm just gonna say GIF, I guess. GIF. Oh my god, I don't even know. But anyway,
I don't even know. Now I'm gonna look that up when we're done.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was using those for my graphic, but I was just wondering when for the graphic I'm specifically doing, I'm posting on Facebook. So, would that GIF still move, or like, do you have to like set it where it keeps moving? Does that make any sense? Like, you know how sometimes you post an image and like you put the GIF, but like it doesn't move for some reason. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I heard that Facebook was now auto playing them.
Yeah.
But I think the loop thing is probably the one thing that I'm curious about. Unfortunately, I don't do a lot of the most GIFs I do are for FPRA actually. So I don't do a lot in my business just because I'm B2B and it's, not as fun basically. But you know what, let me find you the right answer and then I can let you know. But I want to say with the GIFs that I've done, that I have actually, once I downloaded it, I've opened it and then I've made it a loop in the file. And I don't know why this isn't letting me drag this over. So hold on a second. It's not over there either. I'm trying to use two screens. Oh, there we go. So this is what we ended up with.
Mhm.
So the MP4 did stop, but what I was trying to tell you is sometimes in here, like once you actually download it, I think
Yeah.
it's view. Yeah, you can click loop here and then file, save. Let's see if it works now that I said that. Yes, replace it or not. Okay. It's not working. That's what I've done before, and it's worked before on loop.
Yeah.
But the other thing is too, you can like right here, I can adjust usually
Mhm.
how long it's gonna run for. So see here, 7 seconds.
Yeah.
I can just make this one really long because it's only one frame, right? It's only one frame. So 30 seconds, like nobody's gonna look at it from 30 seconds, right? So that would also kind of make sure that there's still movement in it. But I'm almost 100% sure that it'll just keep looping, especially on Facebook.
Okay.
But I will double check that for you.
Thank you. Yeah, because I was
Thank
also,
you on that.
I was thinking to just publish it and just see what happens, and if not, just like take it down and just post it again when I figure it out. But thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing too, if you wanted to make a longer animated graphic, then you would just add pages. So let's say this is the first frame, then this could be the second frame. Then, you could go on and on using different templates. Some of the templates will have different layers to them as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But for the social media, like Facebook ones, it's usually just one frame. But like, I'm going to go into video here in a minute with the different frames and show you. Actually, I'll go there now. So go back to templates. I just want to show you where this is real fast. And go to now, and then I would go to like animated social media video. Animate your stories, whatever you're doing, basically. You could even do an animated Facebook cover. You can do a video ad, video collages. So for this one, I just went in here, and as you can see, there's tons of templates. But I went ahead and chose this one, and you can see it playing right here.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where it's kind of like a video inside a video, right? So this is a stock video that comes from over here. Tons of stock videos. So I could go children playing. You can see there's, children playing, playing games. So this ad was for, oh my God, that window is like shining in my eye. Okay. So this video was for the Children's Advocacy Center. So, I list template because right away I saw like children and stuff, and I saw the colors, and I thought, oh, this would be really fun. Because if you click on this, let me just do a new page real quick. And you can see there's different pages, and you can just apply all four if you're going to do something.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Same thing with this one. This one has a lot more. See, some of them have 10 pages. If you're like, I want to do a really long Facebook video, or I have frames or 6 points that I want to make, you could go in and find a template, or you can repeat templates. So this one has 10 as well. But for the sake of this one, I just kind of liked this template. So I went here and I uploaded the logo for the Children's Advocacy Center.
So let's say for mine, for example, I put the little sparkles for my graphic, and it says here like 60 seconds, like it's gonna be sparkling. Like, do you think that's like a good enough, like I guess time measurement of it to like move?
Yeah. Yeah, because think about it. When you're on Facebook and you're just looking, especially if it's just a movable graphic, it's not like a whole video where you're actually like putting a lot of stuff in it. It's just like movable. You just want it to catch someone's eye.
Yeah.
And then whatever the core message is, you want them to see it and, digest that. It's kind of like brand awareness, right? So whatever that campaign is doing, the movement is to get people to kind of like stop and look at it. Because if it's just a regular photo, like it's not engaging, people don't care, as much. If it's moving, your eyes tend to be drawn to that. So when you're doing just the one frame video, that's more than enough time.
Oh, okay.
They actually recommend, that social media videos, stay pretty short. I mean, I'd say 60 seconds is probably the longest that you want to do. You could go a little bit over that, like a minute, minute and a half. I think this one is a minute. So I hope that helps.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just said thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did want to show you guys, because here using this video is actually on a frame. So if I move this, you can see it's going to catch the logo. So if you wanted to put a logo over a video, that's when you're going to have another layer. That's when you're going to have to go. And literally this little square is like my best friend. Because you have to put this in here somehow, position it backward, which that's a video, so that's not going to work. So for this one, you would actually have to go find like a round one that could actually sit on top of it. It's not letting me do it. See, so even I have trouble sometimes. Position backward. There we go. And now we see there's a layer thing, right? I have to keep going backward to get this to delete it. But just know that if you have a frame, any kind of photo frame or video frame, and you're trying to overlay a logo, you have to have some kind of layer or else it's going to catch it like that. So for this one, I didn't want to put it in there because I'm doing a video. So I just put it here. And now I can go into colors. And it's showing me the photo colors. So now I don't even have to look for what the brand colors are because the logo tells me what it is, and I can change the color. The headline, I can change the color here. Make that blue, I'll make that blue. And then for video, let's say I didn't like that video, then I could delete it and I could come here. And I have to say the pro version, you could also upload video. So if you're working for the Children's Advocacy Center and you have permission to use video B-roll or something like that of children playing, you could upload that video and use video from the Children's Advocacy Center and not use stock video. Just for instance, I can just drag again, I can drag. And now that video is in there. And I can do the same thing as photos and double click and I can move and say, oh, there's another kid in there. I want to get both kids in there. And now I can see them playing. So the best way to do a full-on video is to use all the frames. So as you can see, there are multiple frames here. So for instance, this is what I did with the colors here. I used this template and added it in. And sometimes it's really weird. I think in the free version, it's different than in the paid version, but sometimes your pages, oh, there we go. You can look at your pages this way as well, which I tend to like a little bit better, but sometimes when you have the templates out, it'll change how you're looking at them. But I like this because you can actually see and like I can actually move this frame up, like, oh, I want this up there. So you put all the frames together, and this was just a practice, so I'm going to delete that. Put in some cute messaging, and I thought since this was for children, I thought it'd be cute if we used a font that was kind of like, children's font. So to do the font, go up here. And as you can see, there's tons of fonts, but you can actually search. When you go in the search bar, it'll have the little shortcut like handwriting, corporate, display, headings, paragraph. And for this one, I might put like school. And you can see I found this font called School Bell, or I think you can do child. See, and you can get like children's fonts. Handwriting is one. See, and you can get all these cool fonts instead of having to look, because there's tons of fonts. So you kind of want to know what you're looking for. And then, you know, you just click in the box and you pick which one you want. And we want School Bell. And then I add music to this one as well. And again, go back, drag and drop. You know, piano song, that sounds nice. And then here is where you choose all your pages. So I have the templates here. And then just click download. And I think I did, I hope I saved this one on my desktop. And I did not. All right, so we'll let that download really quick. What time is it? Oh, 6:48. So at this point, I kind of want to just get an idea if you guys have any, like I love the example of the project that you're working on, because that can help me as well, help you in what you want to see in this last, 10 minutes that we have together. Those were the main examples that I have for you. And I'm actually going to show you this video real quick, but maybe just be thinking about, oh, I did have it here. Okay. What else you'd like to see in the platform. There's just a lot to see. So desktop.
So I actually have a question, Lisa. I utilize Canva pretty often, but I've never used the Create a Team tab. Have you ever utilized that, and how has it benefited you, if you have?
So the one thing is I don't use it at all, really.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's because, at least before, when I was first looking at it, it was like you had to have like the enterprise version or something in order to like share with people. I don't know. Let me just see. FGCU. Let's see. Here we go. So I think that's more of a collaboration tool.
Interesting.
So if you have a team, like it's you and another person or something, and you want to collaborate on a graphic or on a document or something like that, you can link them to that graphic so they can easily see it, or you can invite them with the emails. And it appears, I'm working in the free version. It appears now that they allow that, but I know when I first was working with it, it wasn't allowed. A lot of times if I want to share something, I will actually go to here and share.
Yeah.
And just put it in the email or something like that, or the link. And this is actually another good point too, that I don't think in this version. Yep, here we go. So if you click these, you could actually present. You can share a link, you can download, obviously. In the free version, you can post to your social media channels, you just can't schedule them. So the cool thing about Pro is if you were using some kind of social media scheduler, you could literally get rid of the scheduler and just use Canva to like make your graphics and then schedule them in the calendar. And actually, I'll just show you real quick. So this is my work Canva. And as you can see, there's a brand kit. So this is like all of our variations of our logos. And then we have like a heading. You can set heading and brand fonts. You can upload fonts. So these are like fonts that this is our brand font is Avenir. And so I've uploaded what we've purchased. And then you can see here is where I can these are our brand colors for my company. But I also do volunteer work for a national company called CCA. And I help them out sometimes with graphics. So I've created like a brand font for them. And then as you can see, we have FPRA here. And a couple of the colors that we would use. This is kind of like one of the new colors for the Transform FPRA. And then you can actually have frequently used, or you can just add more here. So you can discover all different kinds of colors. So if your brand or company or client doesn't have their branding together, you could go in here and do that. Here's what the content planner looks like in the Pro version. I don't use this for our company because we actually have HubSpot. So that's what we do all of our scheduling through. And that's kind of our CRM. So everything's kind of connected there. But you could actually click plus here and you could pick any of your graphics here. And schedule them to go out on their own. Another thing is, for instance, like I just did a webinar for FPRA called Demystifying the CPRC Process. And I actually created this all in Canva. And then I actually could present from Canva, which is really cool, instead of doing PowerPoint. Now you do have to have internet, but I could present from there as well. So this is also very good. Like if you're presenting a case study or for school, if you're presenting a project, you can actually present from Canva.
Lisa, I don't know if maybe your Wi-Fi isn't catching up or your laptop, but it only is showing us the flyer for the ARCH way flyer.
Oh no, you didn't see any of that then, huh?
Yeah, I was like waiting for it to maybe catch up, but it wasn't pulling up.
All right, let's move this. Gotta love technology.
Oh yes, technology.
Can you see this video?
No.
I have to change how I'm sharing. Okay. I thought if I just moved it to the screen, it would work. Now you can see, right?
Now I can see it. Perfect.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go back to the other branding. Let me show you this since it downloaded. This is the video that I created from that template.
Cool.
So, and actually I have to say this video did not take long at all. Like it was pretty quick. And that was mostly because I just used the template. I literally used the template, put in some core messaging. So as you can see, it's extremely easy to do. Let me pull up what I was trying to show you before. Let's see, where am I? Can you see this now?
Yes.
Okay, so this was the presentation that I did for the state, just showing you that you can actually do PowerPoints in here as well. And there's tons of templates. And the great thing about this, if you don't have the internet and you want to present something, you can actually download this. You can actually go here and click Microsoft PowerPoint and it'll download it into a PowerPoint. I do have to say it's a little wonky when you do that. So I would recommend actually downloading them as like PNGs or JPEGs and then inputting them into a PowerPoint. If you think you're gonna not have internet, since Canva is all online. You can also download, actually, I just saw that they have a download where you can download it actually to your Mac or your PC. So I have never done that. Honestly, I just didn't even know it was possible. So I'm actually going to check that out this week. But as you can see here, you can just, present, which is really nice because it has this little pointer thing. Present from there as well. And this was just a template. I just literally changed the colors and made them the colors of Transform FPRA. And these are all the like PowerPoint templates that they have. Trying to think. Oh, you guys didn't see the brand space, correct?
No.
So in my work Canva, I'll just show you really quick what you get. And it is a little bit slow. I don't know why I have full bars, so.
Zoom also tends to take up a lot of data, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So this is the pro version. This isn't even the enterprise version because pretty much I'm the only one who goes in here. Like I said, my coworker who does design, he does InDesign and Photoshop and all those fancy things. So I'm pretty much the only one in here. But as you can see, I have all my brand logos or different, logos that we have, brand colors, and you can create different folders for different brands. You can add colors by putting in like a color code. So if you get a new job with a company and they have a brand book and they have little color codes, you can actually put the color codes in Canva, can upload fonts, discover new palettes, things like that. And then here you have the content planner. So you could actually like go plus and then go through all your library and say, oh, so I actually created the graphics for this year's Local Image Awards in Canva. So there's a lot that you can do, but this is the scheduler. There's a bunch of different folder options with Pro. So like for here, I have like headshots for my company. I have different kind of stock images, things like that. So I just wanted to show you guys like the difference between the two platforms. All right, so we're here. So, I mean, now is really the Q&A. I think I went over most everything. Let me look at my list.
We're on time for sure. Does anybody have any questions for Lisa? Was there anything that you want her to elaborate on or something that you've always ran into an issue when it comes to using Canva that you'd like to ask her?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. Okay, so yeah, I have another question. So basically, when I use Canva, the problem I always run into is that I use a graphic, like, or a template. I'm sorry, I use a template, and then I somehow at the very end I change the whole entire template. It's like something new, and like, I guess I get overwhelmed sometimes when it comes to designing. Like, do you have any tips for me to like, stick with the template, or maybe find a way to at least, I guess, like make it look pretty, if that makes sense?
Yeah. It's funny, I was just talking to my designer about this because I wasn't feeling very inspired for an Easter graphic for us. And so I said, normally I do the social media graphics, but I was like, can you design something? Because I'm just not feeling it. And it said Happy Easter and all this stuff, right? But it had like a little tagline thing at the bottom. And I was like, and I always remember, he always told me this design principle. It's called, what is it? Yeah, it's called KISS. Called Keep It Simple Stupid. And actually, if you Google that, it's a real thing for designers.
Yeah.
So that's number one tip, because I tended to overthink it myself in the beginning. And then I realized that sometimes being more simple is actually the better way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're starting out, sticking with the template, because these templates have been designed by professionals, right?
Yeah.
So if you can try to find a template that is like almost exactly what you're looking for and stick to it, once you start getting going with it, you'll eventually kind of figure it out, if that makes any sense. You'll get better as you go on. Because as I said, the graphics that I designed in the beginning when I first started with Canva, I would not share right now. And I shared them, on my company page, and everyone thought they were great, but you'll just get better with time. And also, if there are other elements, like I showed you before, I love the feature of being able to copy and paste. So you see I have a lot of windows open, right? So here was another example I didn't show you. This was an infographic. So for instance, I can say, oh, I love that icon. That's perfect. So I just control copy, right?
Mhm.
Go over to my Girl Scouts and be like, oh, that'll look good in Girl Scouts. Go to a page. Oh, let's put it here. Paste, boom, there it is, right? And I can change the color. So eventually, I think once you do it for a while, you get to that point. But I think always remember to keep it simple. You know, nobody likes those graphics where, especially in social media, where like things are all over the place. It kind of goes back to that key, like if you're trying to have like a key message that you want. And it also goes back to your goal. If you're doing like SMART goals, then you know what what is the goal of this graphic? We want to get them from A to B. So focus on that, focus on what the goal is, and then make sure that you're not overloading the graphic. So it would be better if you have like 2 different messages, it'd be better to make 2 different graphics using the same type of template than it would be to try to cram all that information in one, if that makes sense. Or do one of the videos, you know, where you can have 2 screens. You know, because here I'm saying a decent amount of stuff in this video for the Children's Advocacy Center, but I'm putting them each part on a different frame. So you see how simple these graphics are?
Yeah.
Super simple. I mean, the same thing here with this infographic that I found. So this was already like, I typed in healthy infographic. And there it is, leading a healthy lifestyle, right?
Mhm. So essentially it's just like baby steps, you know, start with something that's simple. And then once I get comfortable, I can do a little bit more like adding more graphics and pictures and all that, basically.
Yeah, so you see this, I mean, listen, I literally took this entire graphic
Uh,
and I turned it into a Lee Health graphic. I mean, doesn't that look like someone from Lee Health did it?
mhm. Yeah, because of the color and the logo. And all
Yeah,
that.
the colors, I put, you know, and just put your own copy in it and be done. You know, don't reinvent the wheel too, I guess is what I'm trying to say as well. You know, the templates in here are phenomenal. And as long as you put a logo and some brand colors and maybe change up the font or whatever,
Yeah.
people aren't going to be like, oh, that's the Canva, you know, thing. Like there's so many of them. I can't imagine that somebody would be like, oh, that's from Canva, although everyone's using Canva nowadays. But I also want you guys to take advantage of the classes. You know, the learning classes. I mean, tutorials, those really helped me. And some of these are like 30 seconds or like they have different, like this is 0 out of 7, designing with Canva. I mean, you could literally, I would encourage all of you to go getting started with Canva or designing with Canva, because there are way tools and things, you know, in there that I could show you today. But you have my email address, don't you?
I have your email address. I'm happy to share it in the chat if you'd like, and we can also send it out in an email.
Oh yeah, I can do the chat. So here's my email. I'm like, have open door. So if you're struggling with something or like you have a question that we didn't cover today, you know, definitely email me. I will, you know, answer you as soon as I can. And also happy to come back and do like a specific tutorial if there's anything specific. But I mean, I've been working in Canva for at least 3 years, if not more. And I mean, there's still stuff in here I haven't done, you know, there's things I haven't tried, there's tutorials I haven't seen. So I would encourage you all to just do your own due diligence and go through and look through, you know, what they have as well.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't see you guys now. Can't figure out how to. Oh, there you are. I couldn't see all your smiling faces. It was on the screen. So hopefully that was helpful. I know it's kind of hard with design. It's hard to show it. It's hard to teach it. But what I really wanted to get across today was that all the shortcuts you guys already know from like PowerPoint and stuff are applicable in Canva. And I have some shortcuts. I will send you an email after this with a sheet that you can share to everyone. Just like kind of like a cheat sheet, has some other tools out there on the web that you can use if you're going to stick with the free version. And let's say you have a logo and you want to find the color code just so that you have it. or you want a transparent background on a logo, I have a free tool that isn't perfect, but it works for it, and things like that. So
Cool. Thank you so much, Lisa.
all right. Yeah. No more questions. All right.
I think so. Yeah, well, thank you all so much for joining us today. And don't forget to say a quick thank you to Lisa. I learned a lot, and I've been using Canva for quite a while now, about a year, and I learned some things myself. So thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Lisa, for being here.
Thank you guys. Anytime.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.